Hey, good afternoon. Wendell Champion again. I just want to say thank you for tuning into our page. I'm up here at the Potato Patch at 2020 FM 1960, visiting today with Richard Andrews and his longtime friend Chris and Chris's son Ethan. And I tell you what, when we came up here, today we're opening up, this week is the first time we're opening back up, and as you can see all around, the place is busy. Richard posted a Facebook page asking people to come out and support, and I just want to make sure that we all understand what he's doing for this community, how he's taking the risks that are necessary to really help other communities and other families. Richard, tell us a little bit about how it's been today.
Today's, it's been pretty overwhelming, the response. It's gonna, they're gonna start chopping onions in here in a minute, so that's happening back in the kitchen, so don't blame me.
Yes.
The response has been tremendous, probably twice of what I anticipated. It makes me feel good, the community knows that I'm very engaged with a lot of local churches, the local ballparks, sponsoring baseball teams, swim teams. Every night at the end of the night, a big thing I do is we throw nothing away. If I have 100 rolls left over and 100 muffins and 5 pounds of macaroni and cheese, it goes straight to the homeless shelter.
Wow.
So that's another thing we do every day.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So the feeling that I received when I first was introduced to you is real. That you aren't just doing this just to make some money and put it in your pocket.
No.
I mean, that's important.
Yeah.
But
it is. But,
let's not be, let's be real.
I took it over in August, and I haven't put anything in my pocket yet.
You took this over in August.
Yeah, one of the things he's been stressing about since like October and coming up, ever since August, since you took it over, was not only for his well-being, but the well-being of his employees. That he doesn't have just himself that he has to worry about, but he has 85 employees and their families that weighs on him.
Talking about 85 families,
Yeah.
I get it. And so you're looking at, if we do an average family of 4, you're talking about taking care of on a regular basis 300 people.
Yeah.
Not to include more than that. Not to include the extended people that they're taking care of, right? The young lady who is taking care of her child and her sister's child. We don't factor that into the equation, but it's real.
Yep.
The young man who's taking care of himself and providing something for his family and providing something for his grandma.
I got a lot of young men in the kitchen that take care of their mothers.
Sure.
They're only 18, 19 years old. They're
Wow.
here. Most of my cooks are young, and they live with it, but a lot of them take care of their parents.
Yes, and this is the real story behind why we have to keep our local businesses, our local
Yes, sir.
restaurants open.
During the 6 weeks of, before this 25% reopening, let's say in the kitchen, I would only be employing 3 people in the kitchen and then 3 people out here
Okay,
per day, and I'd have to rotate them all through.
sure.
Today I have 10 back there and 7 out here.
Wow,
So
That's
it's gone
great.
up to 17 people
great.
a day just now, just
now.
from the 25%.
But tell me what it was like doing that stretch. What sacrifices did you make? I mean, you told me some things. I need you to tell people just how dedicated you are to making sure you take care of people. That's the story.
Well, basically, everything went to the employees all the way down. And you're still, even though you're only doing 10% of your normal business, you still got 100% light bill, 100% water bill, 100% property tax, sales tax. You know all the taxes. Those are still at 100%, even though we're only at 10%. Me and my grandmother both. She owns the property here. Me and her both are stimulus checks.
Right.
We put ours together and paid more. That's
Wow.
before we got the business we got today. Basically, Friday and yesterday, our stimulus checks are going to,
Hey,
help pay I had to make, obviously order all the food I needed, and all these big distribution companies.
Sure.
They're on very tight terms. Like if you can't pay for it by Tuesday, you're not getting no more.
Wow.
Because they're hurting just like us.
Sure. That's a good thing to mention to people, because we think about opening a business. Well, behind opening that restaurant, you have to buy the food.
There's a supply chain
There's
behind
supply chain behind that, right? And that has to be taken care of too, because if your distributor doesn't want to give you meat on Wednesday, you don't have a menu on Thursday. But one of the things we do know is that when they make these decisions, they don't really calculate and cannot calculate the full impact of something as simple as, I need to have paper menus that I throw away with each customer.
Right.
I need to have additional napkins to throw away. I need to wipe down every table, every doorknob, everything, and then throw it away.
Our employees' first face mask.
I need to have employee
new
first
concern.
face mask.
New gloves.
Every day.
That's our current reality.
That's the reality. So it's very important that we actually find a way to come out and support businesses like his. We were talking to a young family earlier that your father's
Grandfather.
your grandfather, his grandfather serviced that family and provided support to the community of that family, and here they are. They drove all the way from Huffman just to come in and support. People don't do that unless there's a real connection of love and concern and compassion about the community. It's more than just business. More than just business.
I'm out in Katy now.
You're out in Katy.
Right.
And you came all the way over here to eat.
Right.
And you brought
To
your
order
son.
And your parents were here earlier.
Yeah,
right?
my parents were here earlier. I'm going to take them food. I called, spoke to my brother, spoke to my cousin, my niece, and a few friends, and they were here earlier, getting food to go.
I mean, even to this day, the party room's a little full right now, but every Wednesday night we meet up and play games back there.
Wow.
Every Wednesday
Wow.
night still, 25 years later.
How do you feel about all the fun that you've had with Miss Andrews and his daughter?
It's really fun. It's really good.
Yeah? You like this guy?
Yeah,
Why?
the food's good, and everything about him is amazing.
He said everything about him is amazing. He said the food is good, but everything about him is amazing. Man, did you just cut some onions up
Yeah,
here?
I know, I'm
okay,
fighting.
all right. Let me thank you. Yeah. What do business owners need? And you can go anywhere with that you want, but what is it that, how do we support business owners?
Well, the community just, if you're not comfortable coming out to eat, we'll walk it right out to your car. I got covered parking out here. We walk it out with gloves, masks, washing our hands every 5 minutes. If you're not comfortable dining in yet, we'll bring it right out to your car. We were delivering before, but with dine-in opening, we don't have the resources.
So you're doing all the things to make sure folks are safe,
Yeah.
and you're doing all the things necessary to make.
I mean, it's
people
not
feel
just
secure.
masks out here. If you walk back there in that kitchen, you won't see anybody without a mask and
Sure.
gloves on.
You're doing everything you could possibly do to make people feel secure in their health.
When we did the deep clean and the sanitation, there was, a lot of things that I didn't even think about. My best resource was my employees.
Sure.
I mean, they've worked in other restaurants. They've been in this, they've been in this business. And there was things that they brought to my attention, and I was like, great idea, we're gonna do that too. Well, I know for a lot of us, the stimulus plan, the PPP and EIDL, we haven't seen nothing. But I had talked to the vice president of our bank, and he was like, none of my customers
Wow.
got anything. Nobody with a payroll under $200,000 a month received any assistance.
And so that's one. So we identify that these programs, they put them out there. Thank you for putting them out there to the legislators that put them out there, but they need to work, right?
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, when we start to have initiatives that are supposed to help people in the community, we have to make sure that we have legislators that understand the impact and the need in the community.
Right.
And not just put a wand across a broad brush across an issue and think that that's handling the issue.
Yeah.
Correct?
One thing I've never known, it's just there's no boots on the ground here.
That's right.
Unless it's an inspector, you don't see anybody from, the local government.
Sure.
You don't see state representatives, state congressmen, state senators, all the way up to, our local congresswoman. I don't really see them getting around anywhere, checking on people, getting a real pulse of what's happening in these communities. They're, and I know some people have, they're staying at home, right now, but even before, I'm talking 32 years,
Right. Right.
Well, I will tell you, George Bush did used to come in here.
Fair enough.
The George Bush Sr.
Yeah.
He used to come in here and we'd block off the back room at the other restaurant, you know, because he had his Secret Service detail. And he'd come in about once a month.
We have to start looking for leadership that's willing to connect with the community. And of course, this visit, again, I'm running for office, but it's more than just politics as usual. In fact, I will tell you this is politics that's not usual. And because I absolutely believe if we want to change the way politics is done, we have to change the way politics is won. And what I mean by that is it cannot simply continue to be big money coming from big places to tell people how they're supposed to be as leaders. It has to be individuals who are willing to go out and serve the people with the same heart that you serve the people.
Yes, sir.
And you and I have been trying to touch base before we got to this critical mass point, right? And I say that because I want people to understand that I'm not just being an opportunist politician in a crisis moment to get a camera shot.
Oh no, we've had conversations, texts, voice conversations. I mean, I was actually kind of surprised you called and said you were coming by. You know, back to what I said. You know, it's kind of shocking that somebody was actually going to come see what was happening. Let's say the citizen in Washington D.C. I mean, the disconnect is massive. I mean, it's completely they're completely out of touch.
You're right, and really what we have to do as citizens, as voters, is to start to go back to the way it was supposed to be.
I mean, I heard about you from a very good friend of mine, Matt Vernon, at Lasagna House, and I was down there, and I had seen that you had been there, and I watched the interview and everything. I know Matt is very passionate.
Yes.
And we talked about it, and he told me, he's like, no, I don't know, you know, I don't think there was any BS. You know, I think he's you know, we're in the district, and I think he genuinely wants to help and support us.
Put a political spin on it so much. I'm not trying to find the buzzwords. I just talk for what I believe and what my heart is. And I do believe, as you look back, that we're supposed to help people.
Right.
People have helped me all along the way in my life. I believe that I call it bridging underutilized resources with underexposed talent. Just the same way that you help these different organizations with extra food and extra supplies and extra money during the seasons. That's you're using your underutilized resource.
Right.
200 meals at the end of a weekend that didn't get passed out, and they go somewhere. That's a resource that's underutilized.
Yep.
What are we supposed to do with that? We're supposed to find that underexposed individual and give them some food, just like you're doing. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do. And then at some point, what happens is now, not that you're doing it for tit for tat, but now when you find yourself saying to people, look, if we don't get through this crisis, we're going to have to close these doors. And look what happens. The place is full.
I mean, days away. Like, payroll wouldn't have been made Tuesday.
That's right. But you're doing great work, man.
Appreciate it.
That's all I can tell you. You're doing great work. You're doing God's work, because He calls us to do what He needs someone physically to do, and that's to show love for the people, to help the people.
That's something this restaurant's always been about, is being very involved with the church.
But please, come on out. Help him, help others that need help. So every dollar that you spend here is going to support that kitchen that he has and all those family members. And when we add them all up at different shifts and different times, it exceeds 300 people. And not to mention the churches and the community organizations that he also helps. The homeless folks that he sends food to. The women's shelters that he sends extra food to. That's more than just being a restaurateur, a business owner. That's someone who's operating from a place so deep in the heart that we just cannot ignore, and we need to support. Thank you so much for your time. Come on by. God bless you. God bless your family. And God bless America. Thank you very much.